Hi guys, I'm going to tell you as it is. In this video we discuss being broke in Thailand, and I'm as good as. And we also talk about a couple of things that I just don't like, and it makes it all the worse when you're broke. I hope you enjoy this. Stay tuned. This is reality, and there's the reality of our reality is finality. Hi lads, are you happy where you are? Wherever you are you happy? Who can say they're happy? Who can say they're happy? Which one of us doesn't wake up in the morning with something on their mind that they rather would not be on their mind? The longer I live in Thailand, the more I appreciate Thailand. But that's not to say I'm happy. There's lots of things that make me unhappy about living here. I'm going to talk about a few of them, and a few of the things that have made me unhappy over the last couple of days. I don't think you'll actually believe me when I tell you what has happened. This is Monday, and was it yesterday? No, on Saturday we were up in Pontootene, and Harry has English lessons with a Thai teacher, and she's a very tasty Thai teacher, how about that? Anyway, my wife had told me to drop Harry down in the car to Amazon, the coffee place, which was about 700 meters, less than a kilometer from the house. But she asked me to do this at 11:30, and I had an online appointment at 12 o'clock. So I reluctantly said, okay, I'll drop him off, and I said, when is the teacher going to be there? She said she'd be there in 5 minutes. So it would have taken me, or it did take me 5 minutes to drive down. So we parked the car, went into Amazon Coffee, no sign of her. And I'm looking at my watch now, and the time is ticking away. I've got to prepare for my online appointment. So Harry sat back in the car with the air conditioning because it is roasting toast. And I called my wife, and she's not here. And the wife says again, 5 minutes. And I said to her, that's what you said 5 minutes ago. And she just said 5 minutes and hung up. So we waited another over 5 minutes and she didn't show. So I called my wife again. And I said, now it's about 15 minutes to my online appointment. And I'm a 5 minute drive away from there, and I have to set myself up and all the rest of it. So I'm getting a bit stressed. And I said, she's still not here. And she said, 5 minutes. She just repeated the same thing again. 5 minutes. I said, you've said that to me twice. And she said, she's 3 kilometers away. All this is in Thai. So I said, if she's not here in 5 minutes, I'm out of here. So she didn't arrive. So I said, Harry, let's go. Driving back home. It's now just about, say, 8 minutes to go before my online appointment. Just as I'm pulling out onto the main road to go back home, my wife calls me and says, she's there. And I said to her, well, I'm not. And then I went home. And you see, the thing is, they cannot tell the truth if it means they'll lose their reputation or lose face. That teacher kept saying 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, because that's what she thinks the recipient wants to hear. And my Thai wife just repeated that to me, because guess what? I'm just a bloody farang. And this is highlighted to me that I'm just a bloody farang when they keep changing the visa stuff. Jesus Christ. By the way, they're entitled to change the visa stuff. It's their country. That's what they do. We're guests here. But Jesus Christ, we're reminded about the fact that we're guests here often enough. They're now making it harder for Indians to come in. So all guests are welcome, but some are more welcome than others. So I found a place where I can boogie, although they're playing music, so I'll have to keep this short. That's one of the things I hate about Thailand, and it's not just unique to Thailand, but you can't go into any kind of eating emporium, decent air-conditioned eating emporium without bloody music. this is wonderful just to sit here, but not being able to include the audio is a pain in the ass. You know, it's not unique to Thailand, but audio in establishments is a real pain in the ass for a YouTuber. And that's another thing I don't like about Thailand, and that's money, or the lack thereof. So there's a lull in the music. So while that's happening, I'll finish up, get out of here, and we'll talk about money, or the lack thereof. Because I don't have it. I came to Thailand with enough to live for about 2 years. But then what did I do? I went and got married, and I bought a car, and we launched ourselves into this adventure of a married life, and then we have a son. And now it's not easy for me to find the money to survive, and that's something I hate. No matter where you live, it's going to cost, and it's not just arguably, it is a lot cheaper to live here than it is to live back home where I'm from. But at least back home where I'm from, I could be in gainful employment. You can't do that here. Well, you can if you want to be a bloody English teacher. I earn what, 30,000, 40,000 per month. That was nice. Now to get away from this music. Yeah, I don't have enough money. When I came here originally, I knew I didn't want to go back to Ireland, but I didn't know if I was going to be able to stay in Thailand. If not Thailand, it would have been somewhere else in the region, or it could have been anywhere, like Sri Lanka or something, I don't know. But I got settled here, and now I'm in this life that I'm in with a wife that earns a lot more than I do, but I garner, you see, so therefore there might a month or two might go by where I get more than she does, but it's very, very rarely. But basically, I remember years ago a fella in Dublin, he was on the dole, an old friend of mine. He was living off the social welfare, and I remember one day he said to me he was fed up not having money. And the way he said it, like, I can't even mimic the way he said it, but it just came from his soul. And that's the way I feel. I'm fed up budgeting. I'm 62 in November, and I should be kicking back, but I can't. God, if I had money, I'd have a boat down in Sadahip or Jontien or someplace like that. I used to have a boat, by the way, in the Irish Sea, a dory triple hull with a cuddy, 30 horsepower outboard engine, had a steering wheel and all, electric start. And I used to go mackerel fishing off the southeast coast of Ireland. Used to go out about 3 kilometres on a summer's day, and the sea would be like glass. And one thing about the sea, you know this, there's less resistance, sound travels. So I'd be about 3 kilometres out, and you could hear the murmurs of the people on the beach. It was amazing. And I used to bring a cool box with some Stella Artois, and I used to enjoy that. The mackerel fishing wasn't essential, you know what I mean? That was, if it happened, it happened. If it didn't, it didn't, if I caught any mackerel. But I can't do that here, because it costs an arm and a leg. Actually, some of the things that were cheap to do back home, some of the things that were cheap to do in Ireland are damn expensive to do in Thailand. Like join a golf club I know it's not cheap to go, but you can do it. You can affordably play golf in Ireland if you wanted to. Not that I would, because as Oscar Wilde said, it's a good walk spoiled. You can play tennis. There are tennis clubs around. I don't know for sure, but I know they're expensive. They're beyond my reach. And any kind of boating is beyond my reach, but I have a plan. They sell these 2-meter plastic boats. They're big things. Yeah, hard plastic, like, very robust. Up in the market in Pontootine. I want to put one in the pond outside the house and maybe fashion some kind of parasol, some cover for it, and have me beers and just float in the pond of an evening when it's cooler, well, it's less hot. But that's one of the things I hate about Thailand. Having to sustain yourself. Is he going to get by me? He will, yeah. Is having to sustain yourself every single day. I can't relax. That's the thing. I can't relax in Thailand. It's always something happening. I had to do my 90-day report the other day. I have to do it again in 90 days' time. I have to do, and you might say, well, what the hell? You can do it online. It's not reliable online. Not for me, it isn't. I don't want it. Anyway, money. Money. In a way, in more than one way, I'm glad I don't have money. Because if I had have had as much money as I wanted, I would have gone through it. I know at this stage, after almost 14 years in Thailand, I know exactly how I behave when I have expendable income in Thailand. And if I had the money that would afford me a lifestyle of boats and all that kind of stuff, I know damn well that I'd be going. I had this conversation with someone there earlier today, that there's places in Sukhumvit in Bangkok that a lot of us never get to see. Say the rooftop bars, where the drinks are that much more expensive, let's say 500 baht per drink. I don't know, I've never been. I was in one once, and I just knew I couldn't afford to be there. I just knew I couldn't afford to be there. There were ladies that were glamorously attired, and again, I'm choosing my words carefully on YouTube, and they were the most beautiful, and the smell of the perfume and the drinks were flowing, and they're over friendly and they're touching you and, you know, saying hello and very tactile. And I just knew I wasn't in that league. So these places, if I had the money, that's where I would have been going. Soi 4 and Nana is your bargain basement, but you can get a lot. You can go up market. And that's why I'm saying that I'm glad I don't have money, because if I had have had, that's what I would have been doing. But it doesn't take away from the fact that scrimping and not want to say saving, but scrimping and grinding to maintain an almost banal existence, albeit in a beautiful place. I remember I went to Jamaica a long time ago with my mates, in 1993, and we were sitting in a bar in Montego Bay, and this Jamaican guy, barman, we were drinking Red Stripe, Jamaican beer, and we were saying to him, and the sea was turquoise, and we think we were swimming, it was like tepid water, 1 o'clock in the morning, and this is in late September, and of course, back in Ireland, late September is late September. And he said that his friends had all gone to live elsewhere in Europe and blah, 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 and he wanted to go. And I said, well, why would you leave this beautiful place? And he said, you can't live on sunshine. So even this is beautiful, the daily drudge, it gets to you. It really does. It gets to you. It's all about money. It's all about money. And some people will say to me that I have spoken about this before. Well, I'll just say it's a very, very key part of my life, the key part of anyone's life. But there's so much been covered on YouTube in Thailand. Thailand YouTube is saturated. I said that before. So this is a very poignant video, a very important video, because I'd say most of you watching this are in a similar situation to me, that you're living on a budget, and if you have that little bit extra, you will go and push the boat out and enjoy yourself to the hilt. And you might as well, because you won't be here forever. And you won't be here forever. I've seen, and you've seen, too many YouTubers, say in my age group, or social media guys in my age group, your age group, who have passed away in Thailand. I don't want to name them because I'm just, you know that that's happened to a few guys. And the guys that do YouTube in Thailand do it, not all, but a large proportion of them do it to make money. And I'll say this, I pay my taxes in Thailand. There's far too many YouTubers that were based in Thailand that have passed away in the last couple of years, in the last couple of days. I saw one in particular there passed away a couple of days ago, or this week. And 3 years ago, he was making videos in Pattaya, living the life. But then he got sick, and then within the space of 2 to 3 years, he was gone. And that happened to other fellas as well. So I count myself lucky. At the time of making this video, and I don't want to be tempting fate, but at the time of making this video, I've got everything that I came into the world with, fully functioning, more or less, with the exception of my eyesight. Well, my eyesight was always bad, but thankfully it doesn't, my condition doesn't get worse with age. It's long-sightedness, and it's more or less, stagnant or whatever, I don't know. But look, I'm happy to say I'm not on any medication. I've got all the bits I came into the world with, but I don't know what tomorrow will bring, because we don't know what tomorrow will bring. And I complain about not having money and being broke. I'm not broke. I have a good lifestyle, a reasonably good lifestyle, but I can't afford the lifestyle that I would aspire to. And I suppose not many of us can. I should be grateful, and I am grateful for what I have. I live in a wonderful place. I have a wonderful wife, although I complain a lot, but at the end of the day, she's there for me and I'm there for her. A friend of mine, the same friend I spoke with earlier on, I was talking to him today. He said that my life could have turned out a lot different if I'd have stayed in Ireland. And I wouldn't have to worry about money so much, and I wouldn't have to worry about bureaucracy so much at all. And I could be living a more comfortable life, a less worrisome life in Ireland. But if I had done that, I'd always have in the back of my mind what would have happened if I had come to Thailand and how much I would have missed out on. So far on this wonderful journey in Thailand, I've enjoyed myself so much. I've met some wonderful people. I've done things I regret, but I didn't regret doing them at the time, but obviously the next day you regret. And I'm not saying that I'm not going to do something that I regret in the future. I probably will, because I like to live my life. I like to have a few beers. I like to go out and enjoy myself. Again, because we won't be here forever. And you see, if you're a realist, you'll know that nothing matters. The YouTubers and everybody else, but we're talking about the YouTubers here, the YouTubers have passed away. they're gone. They're never coming back. And that's the way it will be for me. And that's the way it'll be for you. And there's nothing to aspire to. There's nothing going to be there on the other side. There is no other side. This is reality, and there's the reality of our reality is finality. So I'm enjoying every minute of it. I'm doing my best to enjoy every minute of it. And I am broke, but I will always find money to enjoy myself. And it's, you know, when I say enjoy myself, I'm talking about, regular viewers to the channel will have known that I'm partial to a gin now and then. I haven't had gin for over 2 weeks. I've discovered Budweiser Magnum, and it's very, very nice. But I'm going to I am curtailing my drinking. Because if I curtail my drinking, and I drink, say, on Friday or Saturday night and don't drink during the week, I'll enjoy it all the more, and I'll have more money on Friday and Saturday night to go out and enjoy myself more. That's basically it, lads. This is me being passionate again. I don't have money, and in a way I'm glad I don't, but it's a pain in the ass every day to go through the grind. I've got to get money to pay her. That's what I've got to do. I've got to have a certain amount every month to pay her. And this is not a GoFundMe exercise, but I want to extend my gratitude to you all for helping me out and buying me a coffee. If you want to do it, you don't have to do it. And the guys that call me an e-beggar, I'm not an e-beggar. I provide entertaining videos. A busker provides entertainment on the street, and they're not called beggars. I'm just saying, if you want to help me out, you can, and thank you very much everybody who has done. It's wonderful. It's wonderful to be alive. And it's wonderful to be alive and to be able to enjoy all your faculties. And for the moment, I can still live my life physically the same way as I have been living my life all the way through my life. I mightn't be as nimble as I was. I mightn't be as dexterous as I was, but I'm still able to enjoy it. And I enjoy your company, and I hope you enjoy my company. And if you haven't done, lads, already, you can click that subscribe button and leave a comment in the comment section, because it helps the video no end. Let me know about your money situation, or the lack of it. And I'll bring you back another wonderful video very soon. Thanks for joining me.